Where do I start, y'all? Where do I start? Man, I'm in the middle of building 13 right now, and I can't believe the reception that it's getting on YouTube. Y'all are loving this thing, and that's really the reason I built this to begin with. I really didn't need another walking stick. I gave away that first one as a gift. Actually, Hog Dude's dad has it. Hog Dude 1234. Sup, Shane? Anyway, built it just for YouTube stuff, and I really appreciate it, folks. You guys are just taking this thing fantastically. Lots of questions and stuff. Just dump them on me. I'll help y'all out with any questions you have if I can. I know a lot of y'all aren't going to have the tools needed to build this. Few post notes on this. First off, I didn't show it, but this has a bit of a shine to it. I put a clear coat of varnish on it just to finish it up. I hit it with the dye to make it darker because I wanted it darker. I didn't have any dark stain laying around, so I just like a darker stick. On the leather, when you trim it, I got that little piece sticking out right here. I would have, if I had thought it out better, trimmed each one of these seams the same to match this. Also, I would have run this leather a little bit more down over this edge because when that leather dried, it shrunk back just a hair. And you can't really notice the seam. There is a difference in my leather color here for some reason. Maybe just because I'm handling it more. It has been about 2 to 3 weeks now, and I've worked this in and out a few times. And that wax deal, pros and cons. It was very, very hard to work out at first. My neighbor has suggested that idea. As you see, I'm still getting wax on the blade, but it's opening a lot smoother. So it was very hard to work with. Going back, before gluing this thing shut, I might have lined it with some sort of soft cloth or something to get rid of the rattle in the blade. Or drilled 2 small holes and inserted a shish kebab stick from each side just to rub on that blade enough to stop it from rattling. But the wax thing seems to work out, and one positive thing is for certain, it'll seal the inside of that for me. So I don't have to worry about any moisture or anything sealing into the inside of that case. What else? I don't know, I really appreciate it, folks. Y'all are giving me a real good welcome on this thing on YouTube. So, if you don't have leather, you can wrap it with trot line. That's easy enough to do. Old one, I drilled a hole, wrapped the whole thing all the way up, kind of spot gluing it as I went. When I got up the top, I drilled a hole down in at an angle, stuck that in, and I stuck that top part on and started with another hole drilled up and just continued to wrap it so it all blended in. But like I said, that was a little bit abrasive. This leather is just fantastic. The seam on the front allows me to always know which direction that blade edge is, and it always keeps me straight as far as the wood grain goes and the strength of the stick. Way back when I hit this thing on the cement block, okay? If you notice in my video, I had one section, this section here, the wood grain is a little bit wavy, and it does come out through the side of that stick just a hair. When I whacked that 3-inch thick cement block, I hit that sucker hard. I really did. And it turns out that right here, and you can see it if you go back and look in that video, you can actually see it on the film when I hold it up. There's a slight crack about a 1/2 inch long that stops right at this groove. And all it did was just pop a little bit of this wood out. So that actually didn't worry me when I found that, because it tells me that this thing will probably hold up from here on out to anything I give it. I really hit that hard. And that little piece of wood, the cutoff, when I twisted it and I couldn't break it, seriously folks, I was twisting as hard as I could and I couldn't break it. Then I gave it to Caleb. He grabs the sides and he pinches it and pops the wood grain on it and snapped that sucker and, oh Dad, he called me an old man. So anyway, enjoy it folks. It's a heck of a lot of work making this thing, it really is. Maybe if I mass produced a few, they would go a little bit quicker. The price is the thing, folks. I mean, it's about $40 in materials per stick, and it is a lot of work. I would say upwards of 20 hours or so of work to do that. Of course, that's sitting with the pondering and the thinking, and a lot of that's done so it would go quicker. If y'all really want a stick made, give me a price, you know, help me out. I don't want to throw a price out there and have it way too high. I wouldn't mind making a few probably and send them out. It's kind of my artwork, you know. I've sent a few gifts out the door. But yeah, tell me what y'all be willing to pay for one and maybe I'll make a few. I don't know. I really don't. But there's a lot of satisfaction in making the thing for yourself. There really is. A little bit of rattle here in the very end, or movement. And that can be taken care of just by cutting a small disc of plastic or anything, slipping it in between that blade and filling that space up and just gluing it in place. So that was prototype number 2, folks. Maybe if I ever go and make number 3, I'll have all the bugs worked out. Oh, another note. One of y'all were talking about making an actual cane, and I thought that out. That wouldn't be too hard to do. Instead of using an 1.25 inch dowel, which these are, and you're playing it to 3/4 inch, grab 2 3/4 inch boards with really good grain, oak boards, and cut your 2 candy cane shapes, work your blade into it and everything, and then that one, I turn it upside down so when you pull your candy cane handle off, that blade will be pointed out the end. So that's just an idea. I think you could do it that way. And if you want to turn it round, just use a router or carve it by hand or anything and round that stick out. So if you want it a little bit more rustic, grab your belt sander, grind into that a little bit more, and it'll give you a better look. I might do that with the next one because small section down here. But anyway, I'm just babbling, folks. I just wanted to come back on while I'm building this series and thank y'all for just giving me such a warm welcome and everything, man. It makes it worth making all the videos. It really does. Appreciate y'all watching. Fave this thing, spread it around, show all your friends, man. The more views I get, the easier it is for me to help y'all. Thanks for watching, folks.